Hello everybody, you can call me Hunch. And today we're going to be talking about some of the things going around in the Stacks ecosystem, like the delay in Nakamoto, a lot of people causing FUD, which is okay because I used to do that. I'm not upset about it, but it's just like the same thing every single time about the delay and, you know, is Stacks dead, blah, 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 blah. I don't think so. I think Stacks is just getting started. Now, what I'm referencing exactly is this chart where it says, oh, there's less developers on Stacks than every other Bitcoin L2. So, first of all, Stacks is not the oldest. I think Blockstream is the oldest L2 or Liquid. But also, all these other new EVMs or layer 2s have an EVM component, right? So there is coding component where a lot of solidity devs, right, can jump from ETH to Bitcoin, right? Like, for example, Core DAO or whatever, I think is EVM based. So if you have a bunch of ETH developers and they want to hop on the Bitcoin L2 train, they just do that, right? Instead of having to learn Clarity, which is a different coding language. So I also think if you look at the charts, they're a little misleading, right? In Stacks, you have this progression upwards, and a lot just kind of level off with these EVM chains, which makes sense when you say, like, okay, some people from ETH or Cardano or whatever EVM-based chains are. I'm not saying Cardano is EVM. That might be a mistake. I think they have their coding language, but they jump ship, right, and they go on over to a Bitcoin L2. So I disagree with that. I also think people are underestimating how technology kind of works, right? For example, Chat GPT or like a Telegram business, right? Telegram is worth billions, and they have like a tiny amount of developers, right? Or if you look at Tether, right? Tether is more profitable than Goldman Sachs, and they have like 100 employees or something like that. So I think people are misconstruing what's going on here. I think that the economic model behind Stacks speaks for itself, right? I think it's a very game theory type of thing, right? The more you acquire now, the more interest you're going to get later in the form of staking it, right, for Bitcoin. And there's going to be not a lot of ways to get Bitcoin, right? You can work for Bitcoin, you can mine Bitcoin, or you can use Stacks to do it and secure a smart contract layer. Those are the only ways I know. So game theory, right, which is like a country gets it, and so the next country will get it to stay competitive, so on and so forth. That is playing out, and I do think Stacks has that component to it. So, you know, referencing all these fancy charts and whatever, and I'm not saying ignore that, right, but Stacks is steadily growing. Stacks is being integrated with institutions, right, with SBTC signers. The Nakamoto release has been delayed a few times for fast blocks, right, 5-second block times, settlement, right? I get that, but if it is a decentralized organization type thing, right, or you call it whatever you want to, decentralized smart contract layer, decentralized autonomous organization, decentralized whatever, then the delay is not out of line for what happens in a decentralized system, right? If you think about Bitcoin and how long those updates take with like Taproot or SegWit or whatever the case may be, it's a very slow process. Now, it would be bad if it never came, right? That would be devastating. I agree with that. Or if it came in 5 years or 3 years. But to have a 2-month delay and have you lose your minds, right, when the main components are there, right? The component is we want to use Stacks to move Bitcoin around, buy runes, buy BRC20s, put it in a DeFi protocol and earn interest, like with Zest and them teaming up with Babylon Labs, right? So those components are there. So I'm not sure what everybody is complaining about. You just sound like a bunch of babies. Anyway, you could call me Hunch. Later.